that echo was on purpose. But now there should be no more echo. At least that I can see or hear. Can you confirm that there is no more echo? Let me know.
K7ITX timeout.
NP, 87 NP, this is K9PQ. Yeah, they did confirm that the echo for you worked exactly as you said. I'm now getting a quick echo, about 3 times, maybe less than a quarter second delay, maybe a quarter second. K9PQ clear.
Sorry about that. I think I had my audio disabled. I was asking if you're listening to meters at the same time, because since your audio is coming from there, I don't know if that's the reason that it sends an echo back to you. K9PQ 87.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
KD7ZYM, this is KD7ZYM testing 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4, muting the audio on the digital screen. KD7ZYM clear.
Testing. E7NP disconnected.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can say that right. The kidney doctor.
This is K9PQ. K9PQ. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Getting an echo here. K9PQ.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that engage digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz from Cougar Mountain. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS on the internet. It'll take you to our homepage. There you will find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, and also you'll find a link to YouTube, where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. Note, you will need that tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. I'm going to pause momentarily. Or needs to make a contact before the net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Welcome back. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. So far checked in by video is Ron, KD7QKU, Lee, N7KC, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7ITX, Wade, W7ITL, 7N, AD7NP, Carlos, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else? Hearing none, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Let's start it off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. This is KD7QKU in Tacoma. Well, it's nice to have Richard with us tonight. Good to see him. Good to see Lee. I don't know who else was trying to get in, but somebody. So this morning was a really nice morning. I went over to the ham club. Well, just before I was ready to go, Wade called me and said that he wanted me to transmit it. There's a big computer screen in the room monitor where we hang out, and he had the television up on that screen so everybody could see it. And so I transmitted for a few minutes, and then I left, and then I think when I got there, Dave was transmitting, and then Carlos transmitted, and then even Mario made an appearance. I don't know if Wade texted him or what happened. But the guys were pretty enthusiastic about what they were seeing, and they were asking all kind of questions. And I don't know, there's a guy that lives just south of me, across the park. His name is Scott. I think he could probably get as good a picture as I do. And he sounded kind of interesting in amateur television, but I'm not sure if he wanted to spend the money. And then there's a guy that's north of me, down towards the ferry terminal. He's a half a dozen, maybe more than a half a dozen blocks. Amateur television, but I'm not sure if he wanted to spend the money. And then there's a guy that's north of me, down towards the ferry terminal. He could have a view of Cougar Mountain. So I don't know. We might get a new guy one of these days from the club. So that was fun. So we talked ATV. I guess I failed to tell Jim that he could get on his computer and see it on streaming, and I didn't tell Scott that either. Sorry, I forgot to do that. We talked about everything else, about antennas and coax and transmitters and receivers and everything. So anyway, so who knows? So they have the two antennas over there, the receive and the transmit, and some coax. So Wade will be helping them get the antennas up on the house over there, on the clubhouse soon. I don't know exactly where they're going to put them. I suggested the tower, but they didn't seem to want them on the tower. But of course, you know, I would ask for the best place, of course. So anyway, all right, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's move on to Port Angeles to Lee, N7KC.
Okay. Okay. Things are okay. Looks like I have to drop the headphones so that I don't get an echo. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and good evening to you, Richard. Uh, you've had quite an experience in the last few days, and you're probably in the right place. Lee here, N7KC in Port Angeles. Beautiful, beautiful day today. Oh, very warm. And let's see, I have to decide where to get There we go. There we go. Anyway, I got the south yard mode, and I'm laying floor now. I've got about maybe a third of it done, at least 25%, possibly a third done. It's just looking so nice. It's going very, very well. So I'll get some more down tomorrow and so forth. Yeah, all kinds of stuff happening here. I'm going to just quickly switch to my internet and see how that takes to get over here. There it goes. Yeah, analog internet, but it's interesting on digital as well. Uh, it doesn't show up quite as well as it does here on the computer, but pretty nice. Okay, I don't have anything else. It's good to see you all tonight, and we're looking for possible rain tomorrow. I think the weather changed. We had some wind. The wind generator was going for a bit. So I think tomorrow we're going to get a little rain. Back to you, Dave. This is in 7KC, Lee, Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks with that. And a half. Use the Internet Gateway, Washington Amateur Television Society. Dave, KD7ZYM, pausing. Again, welcome Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to Bothell to K9P. Digital TV is yours.
Thank you, Dave. I'm not sure if I'm just starting to see the picture coming on low latency streaming. And I'm getting an echo as well. So at least that's coming through streaming. I'm doing the same thing as Lee, but I hope that's not the echo's not going out over the air. I don't know why it's coming through streaming that way, but it is. But you know what? This is we're experimenting. We're doing new things, and I'm here for it. It's really good stuff going on, and these are these are just what happens along the way. We'll get there in the end. Okay. Well, let's see. Big news here is that my place goes on the market on Wednesday. It's pretty well locked in at this point. There's going to be a lot happening in the next few days. I'm getting my double pane window failed, and that will be fixed on Wednesday morning. I've got a handyman coming on Tuesday midday to do a number of jobs that need to be done. And I've got to go by paint for one of his jobs just to do some touch-up paint. So I've got to take some swatches and get some paint matched, buy some paint, and also just do general last minute things that need to be done. But it's looking really good. As good as it's probably ever looked since I moved in. And yeah, we're on our way. Okay, I'll stop. K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Recovering Richard, K7ITX. Richard, the mic is yours.
This is K7ITX. I can't talk. This is K7ITX Valley Medical Center, Renton, Washington. Second floor of probably most problematically the dialysis unit. Do you guys copy me okay? Okay, great. So just to try to make a long story short, because it is a long story, I found myself flat on my back in the hallway, between the hallway and one of the bedroom doors. And at that point, there are a number of falls that led up to that over the course of the past couple days this week. But it's a weird feeling to be looking up at the ceiling. I'll tell you that. And feel totally perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Not a care in the world. However, I live in a 3-story house. I was at the top story, and the recommendations from my transplant team were to go to the emergency room. Well, going to the emergency room for Debbie, I, and Olivia definitely would put life and limb in jeopardy without some good logical professional help. So for the first time in my life, you're in this weird dilemma. Should I call 911 or not? And finally decided that is always the logical thing to do is pull the trigger and call 911. So that's what we did. And I'm glad we did. I didn't know it, but I was and still is uremic to a certain extent. And so right now, hopefully they're getting pulled out of it, so to speak. And I'm just very thankful for the medical system we have, because it's crazy good when you're in a situation like me. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And we wish our thoughts and prayers are for you to have a speedy recovery to get out of the place that you're at right now. So let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
Hello, guys. Good evening. Been a pretty eventful day. Went to the Radio Club of Tacoma. Spent probably 3-4 hours there. We had a lot of fun. We were showing off the DATV repeater stuff with all the guys. Had about 10 guys see it. I think sometime early next week we're gonna go back there, and I'm gonna work with the president, Adam. He's gonna help me install the antenna and get the coax and get the station set up. So we kind of did some planning today and got all the ideas figured out, how much cable we needed, where we're gonna drill holes, which pole we were gonna, which mast we were gonna use. So that'll be pretty cool. Then after that, went home and did some chores with the wife, and we got some stuff ordered for the outside exterior yard stuff. So I ordered 6 yards of bark and 5 yards of dirt, and my wife really wants to replace the the gravel in the front yard with. She doesn't want to use gravel.
I think sometime early next week we're gonna go back there, and I'm gonna work with the president Adam. He's to help me install the antenna and get the coax and get the station set up. So we kind of did some planning today and got all the ideas figured out how we're.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, there was a signal that was overriding me on the repeater, or that was on the repeater frequency. So as I was saying, we're work hopefully next week, and then that's about it for this round. Pretty tired. Did a lot of stuff, and didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So I'm not gonna say 73 yet, but might be only maybe another round or two. We'll see. All right. W7ITL back to net.
L. Down the 7.
First question I have is I retransmitted some of Wade's audio on 2 meters, and I think it's about a 6-second lag. So what do you think of that? Me at all? Dave, I retransmitted some of Wade's audio on 2 meters, so I don't know, Dave, did you want me to do that? On the digital video there. Okay, well, hey, first of all, let me say congrats to Bob on your house. Yeah, that's the way it always is. Your house never looks as good as the day you move in and the day you move out. Boy, that's a huge effort. I tip my hat to you today for putting that forward. I've been just trying to get my garage cleaned out for the past few days, and something else has always come up every day. So that's fantastic. Richard, get well soon. We see you there, and I hope you heal up quickly and back on your feet again. Yeah, that's always a tough call to make, whether you should call 911 or not. The last time I was in that position, I should have and didn't, and woke up in an embarrassing position on the ground. It's not fun. So anyway, I hope you heal up quickly. I didn't hear what Ron had to say, and Lee, I could get a little bit of tiny audio out of you, but I didn't get enough to hear what you had to say. Anyway, Wade, thank you very much for putting all of the work into the Tacoma Club there with the ATV. I think that'll certainly pay big dividends. And thank you for your work as well as Carlos's continuing efforts to get the system improved each and every time we get on. So certainly appreciate that. So it's 20 minutes after the hour. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. For anybody listening, we meet 8 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I'll say Happy Easter, and Dave, take it away.
WU7N, thanks with that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm going to pause for about a minute again in case anybody wishes to use the internet gateway to contact the Western Washington Amateur Television Society digital amateur TV over the internet. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, pausing for about a minute. Welcome back again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. So let's move on to Carlos, 87 NP. And no to Dave. Worked on the yard. Leave how many leaves I have left in my backyard. This is one container filled up with leaves. Let's do some domestic. And it's nice to Ron and getting things done. He's in a medical center and together for and so it's been very good. Ron, KD7 QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. This is Ron, KD7QKU again. Dave, your audio was breaking up quite a bit on TV. I don't know why. I had to turn the 2-meter radio on actually to kind of hear you. You were fine the first time around, but this last time, you was hit and miss. So it was kind of hard to figure out. You know, now you just disappeared on the computer. You were frozen up on the computer too. So let's see. So Joanne had bought some plants and she wanted to get them planted before Easter. We're having people over for dinner tomorrow, and so I helped her with that some, and then I decided to pull some weeds, so I pulled a bunch of weeds, and then I helped her with some plants in the backyard for sure. I helped her a little bit in the front yard. And then I turned the sprinkler system on. I haven't had to turn the sprinkler system on. So I just wanted to see if any pipes had broken or anything. I turned it on and everything seems to be fine. The sprinkler heads sometimes get grown over and I can't find them. And so you turn the sprinklers on and then you see water bubbling up through the grass, and I take a screwdriver and go around and poke around until I find this sprinkler, and then I shut the system off and take my knife and cut the sod out. It's amazing how much it fills in, the sod grows and everything over the winter. But I have to do that just about every summer. So that's pretty much what I did yesterday. Seemed like it taken the whole day. Today the backs of my legs are sore from bending over and squatting or kneeling and then bending over and pulling some weeds around in the gravel, mostly in the gravel and where the boat is. So it was so nice, the weather's been so nice. I'm going to have to, I guess, start the boat one of these days, the motor, and think about fishing. So I guess for now, that's back to net, KD7 QKU. I'll go kind of poke around till I find a sprinkler.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And get an ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television.
Squatting or kneeling and then gravel mostly in the gravel and where the boat is.
Okay. Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. Yeah, I'm hearing echoes of what after Ron was done. I hear sort of a delayed bit of audio from him and so forth. Dave, you were busted up quite badly on one set of transmission there, but the last one not too bad. James was way down. He said he couldn't hear me, but everybody else seems to be quite normal. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot more, and I need to get down. Saturday night, and Paula's got a movie. She's waiting on me, so I think I'll say Sarah and catch you guys. Hopefully on Wednesday. Wednesday is when most things happen here club-wise, for the local club. So the last three Wednesdays have been tied up and so forth. So it's hard for me to get here. Anyway, so Dave, back to you, and everybody have a great night, and we'll see you. Let's see, Saturday, maybe next Wednesday. I don't think there's anything going on then, so I'll try to make it in. This is very nice. Thanks a lot. This is Lee, 7KC, and Port Angeles 773.
N7 the line to Bob, K9PQ in Bothell.
A video yet, but I'm going to go ahead. This is Bob, K9PQ, and take another headphones. So yes, all the different things that Lee mentioned, I've got similar things going on, although I do hear Lee, an echo on Lee's signal. I don't think he said he heard an echo on mine. From what I can tell, my voice is echoed on the streaming for sure. That's where I'm hearing it, and I think that James confirmed that. What I'd like to know is for those that are listening at 2 meters, and for those that are listening over the air, do you hear an echo on my signal? Because if it's only on streaming, I'll keep on going here. But if everyone's hearing an echo, I don't really see the point. I mean, certainly you can try and work through this stuff, but I don't want to just take up time on the net and not have people hear me. So please do let me know those that are listening to 2 meters and those that are listening to the repeater, the 23 centimeter repeater out. If there's an echo on those. Thank you. K9.
You're coming in clear on my TV set, Bob. You're coming in.
K9PQ, thanks with that. And from what I'm hearing in Lake City, you got a great audio signal coming in on digital video. and the audio on that is fantastic. I am hearing a little bit of a delay that's coming in on 2 meters, but I think that's with some help that WU7N is doing to get the audio from digital over to analog. So with that, let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay. All right. Am I coming in okay? I never know for sure. Okay, good. Well, everyone's coming in okay for me. However, the audio, I'm on about 2 or 3 different platforms. I'm not sure how many ways to get the audio because everyone seems to be a little bit different, and some do well on others and lousy on the other. But back to my weird predicament was, you know, we could have maybe made it down the stairs, but it just didn't seem like it was worth it. And so it took about 15, 20 minutes to finally decide to pull the 911 trigger. That wasn't an easy thing to do, because I know what would happen. No matter what you tell them, you know, they're going to come with, you know, the big fire truck and the lights on. And you know, it's not that big of a deal, but they make a big deal of it. But I'll tell you, having, you know, 4 or 5 strong young men come into the house to help, you know, get me into the car as opposed to 2 ladies, it was the right choice. and now I know why they call it a meat wagon too. It literally felt like it. Yeah, I mean, the springs aren't very good. It's real rickety rackety inside. Is pretty crazy stuff. But I'll say one thing: coming into emergency to the hospital on a meat wagon gets you more attention than I think if you just come through the door limping along. And so I got to exercise the professionalism of my new kidney doctor since I've moved, and that was pretty cool. And it's cool that his office is probably about you know, a 3 or 4 mile walk from my house, just like the hospital. You know, so everything is very convenient. I did want to go to the University of Washington. I wanted to go there, but sometimes you see the writing on the wall that, and it wasn't convenience more. I think it had more to do with just picking the right, hopefully the right kidney doctor and getting the right professional opinion. Stand by, please. So anyway, they have a really great team of professionals here at Valley, and so I know I made the right choice. It's awfully convenient for Debbie, the YL, to be able to bring me things back and forth and get me set up. And so the plan right now is to clean my blood more and more over the next 2 or 3 days, everybody. Now, I've heard of I've heard of uric acid poisoning before. I've heard of that. Well, now I've experienced it. And I'll tell you, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea where I was. And I came out of a dream that you reminded me very, very much of of how I felt in August with what do you call it? When you're just out of your mind. I can't think of the term all of a sudden, but I think you guys know what I mean. So anyway, that's about all I have to report. So I'm just really happy about how the net is working now. That's just fantastic. Everybody coming together, and I'm sorry I can't be doing more, but as soon as I get back on my feet, I plan on it. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And again, we all wish you a speedy recovery. Let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
All right, guys. Hopefully, it doesn't look like my audio is coming in over the repeater. All right. Well, I guess I'll just use my handset because it doesn't look like my audio is coming through. Let's see. Oh, Richard, definitely get better. I'm wishing all the prayers and wishes for you. I'm glad you're able to get on the net and kind of give us a report of what's going on. And other than that, I'm going to say not a lot more to talk about. I am going to say wish everybody a good Easter, and safe travels for anybody that's traveling anywhere. And I'm going to be doing Easter with my kids with their grandparents. So that's what I'll be up to tomorrow. And then all right. Well, say 73 everybody, and it's good net. As far as I can tell, the audio is not echoing on the repeater output. I don't know about on the streaming still. But that's it. All right, W7ITL, back to net.
W7ITL, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's move on down the list to James, WU7N.
East Bellevue. Well, good net tonight. Working through, hopefully getting lots of good data here on what works and what doesn't. Let's see, the question. I probably will open a can of COVID spam and have that instead of a ham and fry that up. Haven't had that in ages and ages. And maybe some eggs, and that'll be mine, but what's yours? So other than that, I'll just be hanging out around the house. I did speak to a friend of mine in Switzerland this morning, and he says, wow, in Switzerland, when they close down for Easter, Easter is actually Easter weekend. It's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but Sunday, nothing is open. I'm assuming if you're in a hotel or something, they don't let you starve to death. but there's no place to buy food or anything, so he had to cut it short this morning, which is, of course, afternoon, evening, their time, to run out and food. And I thought Ramadan in Saudi Arabia was bad. Anyway, so that's one thing here is I'm sure if I want to go out somewhere and get something, I can still do that. So other than that, I'm not sure. Let's see, I do have my antenna out on the porch, and I'm on my lowest power of the ICOM 706 Mark 2G. Putting out, I think it's about 4 watts or something like that, and I think I'm coming through just fine. So for some reason, the antenna that was hanging in the window just doesn't seem to work anymore. So maybe something changed up the site or something changed or what. So out on the deck, where it's just surrounded by nothing but plastic and wood, it seems to work fine. Signal report appreciated. So that's me. That's it. James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Let me turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WU7N, thanks with that. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Well, it's been very good net this evening. Again, I think we're all bowing down to Richard that he'll have a speedy recovery and things will get much better in his life, and we really thank him for coming to join the Nets even at this time of being down and out a little bit, so we appreciate that. So anyway, that's what's happening here. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and I better get another ID in. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. And again, this is digital amateur television with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. So I'm going to move back up to Ron, but I got 53 degrees and mostly cloudy here in Lake City. So anyway, that's what's happening here. So I'm going to move up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU. So I see Carlos is back, and I don't have much to say anyway, so I'm going to turn it back to you, Dave. Maybe you want to get Carlos. KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's go on to Bob, K9PQ in Bothell.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Looks like Dave stopped transmitting. So this is Bob, KNMPQ. Oh, headphones off. Well, thank you for the report. That sounds like everything's working fine over the 23 centimeter repeater output and over the 2 meters. And thank you, James. If it's you that's moving us over to 2 meters, I'm not sure. And a big thank you, of course, to Carlos Wade for making all this happen. And when you do something like this, as big and complex, it doesn't always look right the first time. That's to be expected. That's part of the experimentation process. But this is exciting stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Richard. Just wishing you all the best. This is a tough time. I know you're going through it, and having just lost your cat. Much like with me losing Sparky, I definitely know how what you're going through there, and it's just adds to it. So that's really tough, and I wish you all the best. What else? Yeah, I kind of covered most of what I'm up to. I'm still trying to do a few things just for myself around here too, but it's coming up fast. Not many days left between now and Wednesday, and even though there's not a lot left to be done, there are a few things, and I just have to make it happen. And this is one thing. Thanks to the help from James and Rob on the Wara form, we have completed it. Excuse me. We've completed it, and I will be sending it in after the net. It kind of slipped my mind a little bit, but it's all done. In fact, James is going to be the principal contact. It's his digital signature on the form. They just basically you just type in your name, and that counts as a signature, and we email it to them, and then everything's done. Unless they have questions, but I think we did a very good job of making it clear, but without tying things down too much. Okay, send it back. NPQ.
Thanks with that. Let's go to Richard, K7 ITX. Let's go to Richard.
Well, all I can do is just say congratulations to Bob and his move forward. It's going to be a big deal in life. Just like myself, we're both in, different scenarios that require extreme attention. Bob's, I hope Bob doesn't fall asleep reading the fine print, because I know how with real estate transactions there's plenty of fine print, and I'm a big fan of using a real estate attorney in situations like what he's in. Just like myself, I'm a big fan of using doctors, medical doctors, instead of trying to practice medicine myself. So, it's all very interesting. I love what we're doing on the DATV ATS. It's really turned out to be quite a fun experience lately, and we have the regular guys to thank for it. We've got B. Carlos and Wade, and it goes on and on. The list goes on and on and on. And Jim Shea, for that matter, out there, Covington Jim. Sure like to see him more than not. I miss him a lot. If you want to know the truth, stand by, please. Full plate this week, and I guess the end result will be putting me back at home, being retired, and just living my life, and sadly, that involves grieving for my cat Mika, and 17 years is a long time, and I miss her a lot. K7 ITX, back-to-back control.
ITX down. around. So
Okay, it seems to be working. Good evening, everyone. Sorry that I had to leave before. I had a fire alarm, and it was an interesting event because I went through all the sensors. The alarm company was calling, say, should I stop the fire delivery, fire department delivery or not? And I had to quickly check, and there was no real event that would justify it. But then it became very difficult to stop the noise. So the noise went on, and we realized that we had some kind of flaw in the design of the system, that when I turned off the security system that detected the alarm, the thing keeps going. So that was, I had to turn off the power to the whole house, and still didn't stop, because that thing has batteries, of course. And so that was quite a situation. So sorry for being out for quite some time. I had quite a busy day in terms of I was setting up my 905. Let me see if I can show you. Looking at, let me see if I get this thing right. Oh, somewhere here I had some photos. Oh, maybe I'm missing. I think oh, here it is. Let's see. Okay, so I was setting up my 905 today. So this is a case where the radio is, oops, sorry, that must be the timeout, and now it came back. The radio sits at the roof, and then there's just a network cable that comes down. And so let me see, lots of measurements. And so it's on the base of the tower there. This little gray box, and then I attached some specific, oh, there it is again. And then it just has the connection to the cables. I've connected it to a 1.2 gigahertz and a 2.4 gigahertz. It also has connections to 5.8 and 10 gigahertz, but I don't have those antennas yet. And so this white plate here is the 2.4 gigahertz. And I was trying to see if the colleague that showed up last week wanted to run a video experiment. So those were the news. Kind of the 905 does analog TV, not digital, but it's quite fun that it has 2.4, 5.8 and 10 gigs, so I have to add some more antennas and solve the cable mess that is going on there. And that's it for now. Back to Net Control, Dave from 87NP.
'87NP, thanks with that. Well, let's jump up to Wave W7ITL. And we'll try again for Wade. This is KD7ZYM. Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
I'm having some technical difficulties. I'll try to do one more transmission here. I was trying to get my audio fixed, so I'm rebooting my DATV setup, so it'll just take me a second here. I think it's going to set here. 1, 2, 3, test.
All right, W7ITL. I don't see my. Maybe I'm using the wrong. It looks like I might be using the wrong symbol or something because it's not working. I guess I'll try adding the greater than symbol to the front of my call sign. Let's see if that works.
Alright, let's see. It's coming through. But I'm gonna drop to see if my audio's
coming in. W7ITL. This is W7ITL. Oh, yeah, it's not working. Well, not a lot. I'll say 73. Great net. I'll catch you guys later.
W7ITL, thanks for that. And let's drop down to James, WU7N.
30 seconds left. Anyone trying to watch us on the streaming tonight, the YouTube was almost exactly 1 minute behind real time, and the low latency was not on. It just had a stream.watts.net refused to connect. So anyway, don't give up on us. If you're a lurker, we hope you'll join, and because we're getting the bugs out more and more every week. Big thanks again to Carlos and Wade and everybody else that's putting time, energy, and effort into this. So I think we're about time to wrap up the net. So this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to turn it back to Dave, our net control, and let him close this net up for tonight.
That in society, we'd like to thank the Seattle SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a specific tone of 103.5 for this net. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, broadcasting in digital amateur television, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, saying good night at 9 o'clock. Good evening all.
ITX disconnected.
effect I'm gonna turn on.
See Mario behind you on the lower screen.
Yeah, but that's from a previous YouTube recording. But that one there is from the current stream. And that's the low latency from the web page.